Two of them don't meet.
Hey. Everybody ready?
Basically what I was doing before, except for like.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, May 6, 2004, 7:02 p.m. Bear,
Here.
Briggs,
Here.
Coulter,
Here.
Heidrich, Holtmeyer,
Here.
Patke,
Here.
Reed,
Yeah.
Wessels.
Here.
Please rise for pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated April 15, 2024? Bear,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Wessels.
Aye.
Need a motion, you guys, for
So
approval.
moved. Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Approval and adjustment of agenda. You have the liquor license application for Tipsy Keg LLC.
Motion.
Motion by Coulter,
Second.
second by Holtmeyer. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that motion passes.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments. Proclamation for Bicycle Safety Week.
Yeah. Okay. All these proclamations I'm reading tonight, you guys, are near and dear to my heart, so. Bicycle Safety Week.
What?
Perfect timing. Bicycle Safety Week, by the way, May 13th to 19th, 2024. Whereas a bicycle is a viable and environmentally sound form of transportation and an excellent form of recreation, and whereas millions of Missourians will experience the joys of bicycling during the month of May through educational programs, races, commuting events, trail work days, helmet promotion, charity events, or just getting out and going for a ride. And whereas creating bicycle-friendly communities has shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, to boost community spirit, to improve traffic safety, reduce pollution, congestion, and wear and tear on our streets and roads. And whereas the education of bicyclists and motorists as to the proper and safe operation of bicycles is important to ensure the safety and comfort of all users. And whereas the Washington Police Department, together with other members of the community, will host the 48th annual Bicycle Safety Rodeo on May 18th, 2024, to promote greater public awareness of bicycle operation and safety education in an effort to reduce collisions, injuries, and fatalities, and improve health and safety for everyone on the road. Now, therefore, in recognition that the health, safety, and welfare of its residents are the most valuable asset of any city, I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor, proclaim May 13th to the 19th of 2024 as Bicycle Safety Week in the city and encourage all residents to enjoy the benefits of cycling, recognize the importance of safety, and be more aware of cyclists on our streets.
I do want to just, on behalf of the Optimist Club, I do want to thank the city for allowing the police department to work with us on this event for the last 47 times now, soon to be 48. It gets better and better every year, and we really do appreciate the contribution that the police department gives us on this event. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Historic Preservation Month.
Okay, Historic Preservation Month of May 2024. Hi. All right, Carol. Glad you're here. Whereas the National Trust for Historic Preservation established May as Historic Preservation Month in 1973 as a way to promote historic places for the purpose of instilling national and community pride, promoting heritage tourism, and showing the social and economic benefits of historic preservation. And whereas the historic houses and buildings of Washington help make our city unique and provide links with aspirations and attainment of the city's pioneers and their descendants, and strengthens the enduring bond between past and present. And whereas the historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth and sustainable development, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of Washington, Missouri, do hereby proclaim May 23rd to be Historic Preservation Month in the city and call upon the city of Washington to join their fellow citizens across the U.S. in recognizing and participating in this special observance.
Thank the mayor and the city council for recognizing how our historic heritage really contributes to Washington's wonderfulness, which is not a word, but it is. Thank you very much.
National Police Week.
I'd like to thank all the officers for being here tonight. Welcome, guys. Everybody, I think we as citizens can never thank our police department enough. The men and women who go out the door every day, put their lives on the line, and knowing that it may be their last. So I appreciate that, you guys. So, National Police Week, May 12th through the 18th, 2024. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as National Police Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the law enforcement agency in the city of Washington play an important role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices their police department, and that members of our department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the police department of the city of Washington has grown to be a modern and scientific law enforcement agency which unceasingly provides a vital public service. And whereas U.S. flags are to be flown at half-staff on Peace Officers Memorial Day, May 15th, in tribute to those peace officers that have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of the City of Washington, call upon all citizens of our town and upon all patriotic, civic, and industrial organizations to observe the week of May 12th and 18th, 2024 as National Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all our citizens may join in commemorating police officers past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to this community, and in doing so have established for themselves a desirable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon all citizens of Washington to observe May 15th, 2024 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those peace officers who, through their courageous deeds, have lost their lives or have become disabled in the performance of duty.
Thank you, Mayor, and just want to say thank you to the council for all your support and the citizens of Washington. I believe you've all been invited to the Peace Officer Memorial Day ceremony, May 15th, on the parking lot out in front of the police station. You're all welcome to attend. That's open for everyone, 9 a.m. So hope to see you there. Thank you.
National Public Works Week.
Thanks for coming, Kevin. National Public Works Week, May 19th through the 25th, 2024. Sorry, guys, too much talking. Whereas Public Works employees focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of our residents, business leaders, and civic organizations in the city. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of Public Works employees who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting transportation, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our residents. And whereas it is in the public interest of our residents, business leaders, and civic organizations to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in the community. And whereas the American Public Works Association has celebrated the annual National Public Works Week since 1960, and this year's theme is Advancing Quality of Life for All. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of the City of Washington, do hereby proclaim the week of May 19th through the 25th of 2024 as National Public Works Week. In the city and during this 64th annual National Public Works Week, I call upon all residents, business leaders, and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with these issues involved in providing and maintaining our public works infrastructure and to recognize the contributions which Public Works employees make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. I personally would like to say when I first became mayor 2 years ago, you guys, I didn't understand the significance of infrastructure and the people behind it. Believe me, I get it now.
I just want to say that if it wasn't for all of the employees that we have in Public Works, the crews that go out there daily and do what they do, we wouldn't be the quality that we are. You've got to take it off. I have to take my hat off to every employee of the Public Works, water, streets, wastewater, landfill, recycling. If it wasn't for those guys, we wouldn't have what we have, so.
National Travel and Tourism Week.
All right, tourism. I am. Thanks for coming. National Travel and Tourism Week, May 19th, 25th of 2024. Whereas travel, hospitality, and recreation reflect the power of travel and plays a vital role in promoting economic development in Washington, Missouri. And whereas the tourism industry in Washington is steadfast and flourishing, with record-setting overnight visits in 2023. And whereas Washington's tourism industry continues to thrive with new experience-driven businesses, outdoor recreation, and utilization of the Amtrak Missouri River Runner, and whereas travel and tourism create countless job opportunities, support small businesses, and contribute significantly to the vitality of our economy. And whereas Washington is home to a diverse array of attractions, including historic sites, charming boutiques, delectable dining options, and outdoor recreational opportunities, offering unforgettable experiences for visitors of all ages. And whereas Washington continues to thrive with a blend of historic nature as well as a modern touch throughout our community, and portrays an ever-growing and lively downtown district that offers amusement for out-of-town guests. And whereas visitors enjoy Washington as the heart of Missouri wine country, overlooking the Missouri River, experiencing Barbecue and Blues Fest, Art and Wine Fest, Cajun Festival, Town and Country Fair, Fall Festival of the Arts and Crafts, Holiday Parade of Lights, hiking and biking trails, and numerous live music events. And whereas the power of travel and tourism will help in the growth of Washington, Missouri, it is imperative to move us forward to a more prosperous future. Excuse me. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of Washington, do hereby proclaim May 19th through 25th as National Travel and Tourism Week in the city, and urge all our citizens to join me in a special observance.
The last word. I was just going to say, we all know how important tourism is to our community, so thank you guys for your continued support.
Can we add one more proclamation?
No, not tonight.
One more. Don't have to be national, just Washington. Give me the key to the city.
Should have brought this.
2024 Council Committee Liaison Assignments.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
There you go.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Briggs. Any discussion before we do this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, guys.
Public hearings, amendment to the zoning code, section 400.080.
Introduced by Holtmar.
We got to have a hearing.
Public meeting.
Public meeting, hold on. Public hearing. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay, so, on the 8th of April, we went to the Planning and Zoning Board and requested revisions to the code for the two-family overlay district only. So just as a reminder, the purpose of the R2 overlay district is to allow for the development of two-family dwellings as infill, where in certain parts of the city of Washington. Current code has a minimum depth of front yard, 25 feet, with a single-family lot the size of 6,000 square feet or larger. But for two-family lots, they have to be 12,000 square feet or larger, and then the maximum lot coverage is 35%. And I'm going to show you in a minute some example parcels of what we're trying to accommodate for with this zoning change. So our proposed code is minimum depth of front yard at 10 feet. However, if there's a front entry garage, attached or detached, it would be a 25-foot setback. We will keep the single-family lot size at 6,000, but then also reduce the two-family lot size to 6,000. And then just with the sizes of these lots and the setback requirements, we really wouldn't need the lot coverage max, because that would all kind of take care of itself. And so here is Locust and East 6th Street. So these two lots that are starred in red, in my short time here, has come up to my attention 3 times. People want to buy these lots, but they want to put duplexes or two-family on these lots. And right now, where it stands, they cannot. So in their, profit mindset, it's not worth purchasing these lots. So we have a house that needs demolition, and then we have an empty lot that I guess used to be a garage or some other accessory use there on that parcel there. And I'm also showing you that most of the houses in this area have a very close setback. So 12 feet, this is just an estimation, I didn't go out there and measure, but about 12 feet and 12 feet on East Sixth Street, and then on Locust, you've got like 6 feet and 10 feet. So these properties are already close to the lot lines, and to have a 25-foot setback as infill just makes that neighborhood feel disjointed. So those are the recommendations for that, and I do want to show you, if you're not familiar with this lot here, kind of what it looks like. You know, it just sits there because nobody wants to invest in it. And this isn't the only example, but just the one that's come to my attention several times too.
If I can add, I mean, R2 overlay, it does have the purpose of both single-family and two-family. And you have several two-family units that are in and around the old shoe factory, for example, where years ago they were encouraged to go ahead and be two-family units to provide housing for the workers in those areas. And so you have a mix. Back in mid-2000s, the city did go ahead and make those changes, and that's the reason why we added the term overlay, because it was really defined as those areas that are in and to the east and west of the downtown area and just south of the downtown area. So like what she's showing you here is on 6. This would be in that southern portion of it. But all of these changes would just be in and around the downtown area when you see the R2 overlay zoning district.
I didn't think the overlay went past Fifth Street, but it does.
Yeah, it does.
As far as Sixth Street.
Yeah, it goes a little bit further south. Basically, what we did at that time was we took, it was all zoned R2, and what we were having problems with was the technicality of, we had probably about 70% of the homes back then. I don't know what the land use is today, but I would imagine it hasn't deviated from it too much. But back then, it was over 70% were being occupied as single-family homes. And if somebody wanted to go ahead and do an improvement to a house, which you'd want to, or you would expect in these neighborhoods, they would need to get a special use permit at the time because it was only zoned R2 or for two-family. So that's why we created the single-family and two-family overlay, eliminated a lot of those headaches. So I'm just telling you, by making this code change and going down to the smaller lots, you already have a lot of two-family units in this area that's zoned that's less than 12,000 square feet. So,
And I do like the idea that the 10-foot setback goes with the neighborhood, but then the garage at 25, and where you don't have a garage, it's just 8, 10 feet off the street, but it would be 25 off, so the additional
You got a parking spot in front.
stalls, that's basically 2-car stalls at 25 feet, right?
yeah, exactly. That change was made at P&Z. We discussed it at that meeting because of the fact of you don't want situations where if they do have a front entry garage and it matches the 10 feet, I mean, you can see it you can see it on some lots where they got the garages too close to the sidewalk. The car is parked there and it's blocking the sidewalk.
Right.
And that's what you don't want. And it just says if you're going to do front entry. If they want to do a side entry or put it in the rear of the lot, they can still do that. But if they want a front entry garage, you got to set it back that far.
What do we need for this?
Any comments? Public hearing. It's public hearing, so ask any comments.
This is a public meeting, you guys, a public hearing on this, so if anyone in the audience would like to comment, please come up. Okay,
Anything on those two lots would be an improvement.
I agree. So we need a motion to send this on,
Motion to accept in the minutes.
accept in the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Briggs,
Second.
second by Patke, to accept in the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
An ordinance amending section 400.080 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
Discussion.
Any discussion on this? Okay,
An ordinance amending section 400.080 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri. Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hatke?
Yes.
by your vote, ordinance 3B passes.
Citizens' comments?
Anyone in the audience like to come up and make citizens' comments? Okay, thank you.
Ordinances and resolutions. An ordinance amending the 2023-2024 budget of the City of Washington, Missouri for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
Good evening again. This is, so last, excuse me, last meeting, I presented on the park master plan, and in my letter, I had everything correct on the funding portions, except, excuse me, when I did the ordinance, I failed to leave out the budget amendment for the ordinance for the additional $20,000, which was coming from the American Rescue Plan Act, so the ARPA funds. And so this is correcting that ordinance.
Anytime we use ARPA funds, we just do a budget amendment, so you're aware of the fact that we're spending those funds.
Wayne, I have a question. I go to every park board meeting and council meetings, and I didn't know that we were gonna have a new soccer facility over there, but the newspaper does know that.
You're not the only one that said that. But it was, wasn't it baseball?
We're gonna put a complex over there, and I'm like, I
That's-
take
that's
pride in
it-
going to every park board
That's what I
meeting
heard,
possible. I do, and I never
Well,
heard that.
I think I can shed some light on that, Jeff. It's just part of the comprehensive plan. The idea is to possibly see if you can utilize that for some additional park area. It doesn't mean you have to go ahead and do that. There's no implementation. It's just an idea of, you could use that for those, and I'm looking back on the map that's in the back of the room back there. That's what you're referring to.
I think there was a comp plan review meeting recently, and that's where it came up.
Yeah.
They must have picked up something from that.
By the airport.
And,
Oh, in
because I was a little surprised to
Okay.
see it in the, I was like, where's
All
this
right.
from?
Again, I know it's something we've talked about in the past, but nothing like, all of a sudden, we're gonna pass a master plan, and then the first step is we're gonna
No.
get this done over there, and it's like, it's been news to me, so I was asked that a few times, so.
Comprehensive review, P and Z.
So it was in comprehensive plan, not in the Parks Master. Plan.
Correct.
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 They haven't even started the parks master.
You're not the-
Exactly.
Yeah.
not the- yeah, you're
So
not the
you
only
might,
one that
I mean,
asked
you
us
may go ahead and they may be able to go ahead and go into a little bit more depth in that with that plan and see whether or not it's feasible to do it.
Yeah.
I think there's some other issues possibly about using that ground due to the fact of just dealing with FAA.
For sure.
And whether or not that they want that, so, but keeps all options open.
All right.
Anything else?
Any questions for Wayne, you guys? Okay, thanks, Wayne.
An ordinance amending the 2023-2024 budget of the City of Washington, Missouri for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Briggs.
Yes.
Wessels.
Aye.
Bear.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Coulter.
Yes.
Patke.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7A passes. B, please.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from Cochran Engineering for professional design services for the Riverfront Trail Connection Project.
Bear.
Either one of us.
Introduced
Pick a
by
park
Bear.
board member.
You were last.
Yes, this is the
Sorry,
trail,
I'm sorry,
Bear.
which one are you picking?
Not me, it was Bear.
Bear.
this is the trail connection, grant, and design project that we discussed earlier. Any additional questions?
Guess not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from Cochran Engineering for professional design services for the Riverfront Trail Connection Project. Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Briggs.
Yes.
Wessels.
Aye.
Bear.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Coulter. Patke.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for Stonebridge Phase 1 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
Good evening, council. This is the acceptance of minimum improvements for Stonebridge Phase 1, which is the subdivision north of the East-West Parkway off Beaker Road there, built by Northern Star Homes. And it includes a 2-year maintenance bond for 20% at $193,000.
Questions or discussion? Okay. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for Stone Bridge Phase 1 in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Briggs.
Yes.
Wessels.
Aye.
Bear.
Yes.
Reed.
Yeah.
Coulter.
Yes.
Heckey.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7C passes. D, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a mitigation credit purchase agreement by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and Swallowtail LLC.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
So, as we were moving forward with getting our permits and getting our Economic Development Administration to approve our design plans and go out to bid for Oldenburg Industrial Park, we still kept running into an issue with regards to a permit that we had to get from the Army Corps of Engineers. Essentially out there, Averbeck Drive crosses a ditch, or at least, but it's regulated by the Corps. And we tried several times. I've got Elliot here if you have specific questions, to try to go ahead and do anything we could to mitigate that. It was kind of in limbo for a while, and it was being held up, and then one of the options was you could go ahead and purchase the credits and move forward with the project. So that's what we chose to do. We felt like it was $1.5 million project. We did not want to sit there and hold it up any longer. Otherwise, our construction wouldn't be in phase with the gas line and everything else that was going on with the park. So it is a purchase of those credits. I'm not aware of any other time where the city's purchased those credits, unless Mark is aware of it, but we did have to do it for this project. And Elliot, I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to add.
Elliot Reed with Cochran Engineering. Darren, you pretty much summed it up. There's a ditch / jurisdictional stream kind of in the middle of the property, and we needed to cross that for the street, water, and sewer. We looked at the option of not crossing it to just prevent the Corps permit altogether, because there was a lot of issues with that besides just this. And the tie with us was the EDA wanted the entire park to be open, which meant you need to access the entire park, and the entire park had to have.
Wouldn't let us cut it
water
off and do
sewer
it in
service.
phases.
So we looked at just keeping the south side there, undeveloped, and that was not an option for the EDA, which would have jeopardized our funding. So over the creek we went and into the land of mitigation.
Can you, in 25 words or less, tell us what a stream credit is?
Stream credit, in 25 words or less, probably not. I'll try 50. There are a stream that is regulated by the Corps of Engineers, which is this stream. When you get a permit, if you affect it, you need a permit. There's either a nationwide permit or an individual permit. Even though we had a nationwide permit, which is a smaller permit, as opposed to an individual, which is a larger disturbance, we crossed the threshold of needing mitigation. So for example, if you do just one storm sewer pipe across the creek, that would fall under a nationwide permit that does not need mitigation. But we had enough disturbance along the length of that creek that we crossed a threshold for needing mitigation credits, which is why we ended up with this permit with Swallowtail. It's basically, we buy credits for their bank, and to be honest with you, I don't know where their bank is, but they reserve in perpetuity a stretch of stream, whatever credits they calculate with the Corps, to offset our disturbance in the creek, is the long and the short of it. And then therefore we can disturb our.
It's been done with other projects. When Walmart was added out there, for example, they planted several trees. If you go down, it's called, I remember what the name of the creek is down there. What is it? Down by Long Tiemann. It goes into the park system, but you can see any trees that are down there that have got about a 4 to 6 inch circumference there, that came from that mitigation that Walmart had to do. They were in this case, they were able to go ahead and do it even locally within the community and put those in, but that had to do with their disturbance that they had when they built the new Walmart. That's
By
just one
far,
example.
by far the cleanest way to do it is buying the mitigation credits, and then you're done. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can do what they talked about, but then there's 5-year monitoring, and then you got to go back and do a report every year, and if the
Right.
trees die, you got to replant the trees.
Thank you.
It's
against the rules unless your checkbook's big enough.
I don't think that,
remember-
we've
in
never
my
bought,
career, I've never seen-
the city has never had to buy credits. I'm just saying, we've had other developments that have had to do mitigation.
Most of the time, if a city is doing a crossing, it's under the threshold that would require mitigation. larger commercial developments, just because of their nature, have more disturbance, and then once they get over that threshold, then you have to do mitigation.
So if we do more infrastructure out there, will it be again, or this is the only time? This encompasses everything we need to cross.
This will get us the street across.
Averbeck.
And the water and sewer. Most of the disturbance was Everbeck. Now,
Okay.
if you get a very large company in there that wants to do a parking lot over the creek or something else, then more disturbance would have to be relooked at, yes. But this gets you across the creek to the other property.
I get it.
So as far as the city is concerned.
Right, but
Your
therein
question.
lies my question, in the fact that if we do, another corporation comes in and does something else more there, needs a bigger street, or puts a parking lot over the top, that price needs to be included in the lot price, that we don't come back and have to pay for it next time.
Well, and in that case, we would not, that's not something that the city would have to go ahead and worry about. That would be up to them.
There would be,
to the
normally there would be
Yes.
the company.
Just like Walmart, the
Right.
example I
They
used.
would do their due diligence, determine that's a jurisdictional stream, and then
Yeah.
figure out whether they do or don't want to take on the mitigation and the permitting along with it, but that would fall on the company, not on the city.
What does this cost us? Anything?
$76,275.
Is that right?
You are purchasing 1,350 stream credits.
Remember, in case you ever need
Can we get a piece of paper that says we have stream credits or something?
it. Bank account. Can I stop that creek with crappie?
It's like Monopoly.
I don't think
What are
they,
you gonna do with
I don't think they'd last very long.
Let's dig a bigger hole.
Well, no.
No.
Then you gotta pay more.
I'll put some minnows in it.
There you go.
They won't survive either.
Thanks, Elliot.
Thank you.
Definitely a new version, no doubt.
Yeah.
Other comments or questions, guys? Okay.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a mitigation credit purchase agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Swallowtail LLC. Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yeah.
Coulter?
Yep.
Heftke?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes. E, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an airport infrastructure grant agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission.
Holtmar.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
Items 7E and 7F are both necessary for us to go ahead and receive the funding, the federal funding for the hangar project, so that we can go ahead and get reimbursed.
Anybody ever read a longer contract than that?
They,
I was gonna complain to
someone's proud of it.
Mr. Piontek about that.
And you can't blame Mark.
This is your Federal Paperwork Reduction Act in process.
Fell asleep twice.
Lots of whereases and stuff like that. Goodness.
It's repetitive, too.
It is. Any questions or discussions? You guys?
Well, on page 82 of that contract, section B, it references airport hazard, misleading lights or anything like that, which concerns me about this potential ball field we may put over there. That's the only thing I saw in the whole deal that made any sense.
Not build any structure in a runway protection zone.
Right,
That's
so I
gonna
don't know
be-
if that's in the runway protection zone, but if it is, we probably can't put lights there.
I think most, a runway protection zone, you guys, sorry. The runway's there, it leads into it. Don't ask me what the length or the width is, but most of the growth, if you look at those pictures back in there, they're gonna be to the
North.
north and northeast, away from the protection zone. So,
But it looks like it parallels the runway, is that correct?
that's correct.
So if you
Charles,
put lights there.
comment?
I mean, I wouldn't think a pilot would like that.
Gonna be a daytime field only.
Well,
You got a lot of hurdles to go through before.
Yeah.
before we
So-
get that.
Just something to think about.
Right.
But I also don't think it's gonna change, this is gonna be in there no matter what.
Right.
Yeah, we
Whether
can't
we
avoid
adopt it or
this.
not, this is already there.
Right.
I read the contract.
Okay. Further discussion? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an airport infrastructure grant agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission. Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yeah.
Coulter?
Yes.
Petke?
Yes.
By your vote, 7E passes. F, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of Amendment Number 1 to State Block Grant Agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Hopemar.
One quick
Same
question. What are BIL funds?
What was your question, Mark?
What are BIL funds?
Oh,
That's in your letter, Gary.
yeah.
Pass the ordinance to execute.
There's also NPE funds too.
Bipartisan infrastructure law.
Thank you. You found it?
Bipartisan who?
The infrastructure law.
Learned another thing.
There you go. Thank you, Mark.
Bipartisan infrastructure law funds to the project?
We have bills and stream credits tonight. Just trying to get your projects done.
And I'm not trying to hold up the
Oh, I know.
process, I don't mean that, but when you're reading something and then you don't know what something means, it's
Yeah.
impossible. I should have Googled like Mark does, but I figured someone had a better answer. We pay pretty good money for someone to use Google up here. Again, in order to
Get the federal
Reimbursed.
get reimbursed for what's coming our way through the FAA, you need to pass it.
Other questions? Okay, go ahead.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of Amendment Number 1 to State Block Grant Agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission. Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yeah.
Coulter?
Yes.
Petke?
Yes.
By your vote, 7F passes. G, please.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for Stone Bridge, Plat 2 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
All right, boundary adjustment.
I'm sorry, someone needs to
Holtmeyer.
introduce.
I'm sorry. I'm ready to go.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah. So Stonebridge Plat 2, we have 3 lots, 28, 27, and 26, as you can see, have been shortened to make room for a future road for the Phase 3 of Stonebridge.
Or is it shortened?
For what?
Upper right?
Yeah, that
Okay.
northeast corner, you can see that it's
Okay.
vacated there.
Oh,
Yeah, lot
Gotcha.
sizes are still within the R1D.
There's 7,500.
Yeah, 7,500.
so 26 is only missing that little bitty triangle,
Yeah.
then the whole major portion. Okay, thank you. I didn't understand that one either, but now I got you.
And 28's barely missing a piece.
Barely missing
Yeah,
a piece, too.
27's losing.
So the road will go this way behind them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Other questions? Discussions? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for Stone Bridge, Plat 2 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Bear?
Yes.
Reed?
Yeah.
Coulter?
Yes.
Petke?
Yes.
By your vote, 7G passes.
Mayor's report?
I've got really nothing, you guys. Thanks for holding down the fort while I was gone.
City Administrator's report?
No report. Plenty to talk about in executive session.
Council comments?
Yeah, I'd like to commend Kurt Unstall and his construction company for doing a fine job on Second Street. Turned out really, really nice, and
hope we learn some things on that street to go into Front Street with. Maybe we'll run it a little bit smoother. It just took a little more time than everybody thought, but turned out really well.
I have to agree. Wow.
So far, so good on Third Street too. I think everything's looking good there so far.
Right. I've got a couple, just a trash collection, I guess,
Oh,
statement
God.
here. But, so I got a couple phone calls last week. Obviously, we were missed. I mean, my house was missed last Tuesday. I guess I want to know what the call is. When someone calls City Hall, they're told to call their council member?
No.
No. So if someone calls in and says, my trash didn't get picked up, they're directed to?
We take notice and we go ahead, first usually talk to Tony. He keeps an active tally on what needs to be called in, or at least if we get several, I mean, usually it's not just one.
Right.
Like they may have to miss a whole street due to truck breakdown or something. And then what we do is then go ahead and put out a notice. What the ideal situation is, if you got enough time, we put out a code red notice to those residents. We put up a map out on social media saying that, you know, these were missed, and then stay tuned and keep it out till the next morning, and hopefully they pick it up at that time. But that's the typical way that it goes through. Does it work for every single time? No, but that's typically how we try to go ahead and get the word out.
Okay. I had a specific incident happened in South Winds. They get their trash dumpsters emptied on Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
They missed Tuesday, so they come Wednesday to make up for Tuesday. They come back on Thursday and pick up nothing, and now they have everything left till next week. So I don't know, did we schedule that dumpster pickup for them, or how does that work?
Those dumpster pickup times were worked out with those developments or whatever way back when we set this up, and we had to figure out how many dumpsters we had to go ahead and collect for multifamily.
So we would, in order to change the day, we would have to do what?
I don't know that it would be that difficult to maybe change the day. I would say if you want to use them specifically as a date that they are requesting to change that, we can certainly go ahead and take that with Corey. I will tell you at next month's, just a good segue, at next month's workshop meeting, the first meeting in June, we will have Waste Connections here to answer any questions as well. We're going to have them start coming to your thing. If you got any questions, you can go ahead at. But if you want specifically, if you want to answer before that, obviously I'm not saying you have to wait till then. Let me know or pass it along to Tony, and we can go ahead and discuss it with Waste Connections and see if that can be altered.
Yeah, again, I'm not looking for specifics.
No, that's fine.
It worked out last week. I just got the phone calls from a couple people there that it didn't happen. And then I guess this statement was said that they can miss a day, and we tell everybody to be patient, but if they are one day behind on their utility bill, we charge them a finance fee. And that was said.
That's not correct.
Not correct. Thank
No,
you.
That's not correct.
Okay. That's what I.
That's going to come up for another discussion with you in the future too, by the way.
Okay.
Because how we handle utility billing and how we enforce it can sometimes be two different ways. And I will say we are much more lenient on how we enforce the code compared to the way it's written.
Okay.
And we want to come back to you and discuss that with you because, now that you mentioned it, be careful what you ask for. The fact of possibly looking at following it, what the code is, so that we would save on the number of shut-offs that you have a month. Because I think it has, Kevin seems to think that, and we got time to work this through before we present it to you, but the idea is that if you stuck with the schedule that was in the ordinance, there's a possibility that you'd have less shut-offs that you have to go ahead and go out every month and work with. So we'll bring that back to you.
Getting back to the trash. You know, we've had them in here, we worked them over pretty good last time, you know, I feel. And I've been defending them as best I can, but I got people that are getting a belly full of it, you know what I mean? I mean, they put your trash can out there, you put your recycle can out there, and if you don't have room for a recycle can, they're not picking it up. So if you put cardboard on top of it, put it alongside of it, you put it next to your trash can. These guys work harder on getting out of work than they do wanting to work, because the trash man won't take it, the recycle man won't take it. Well, maybe it's recyclable, maybe it's trash. Well, hell, nobody picks the shit up, and it's getting old, and I'm getting tired of defending them.
I understand.
I don't care if it's leaky oil or whatever, I try to help them on that. You could put a diaper on this thing when you're going through these subdivisions that don't like the oil. I've done everything. I go out and pick it up every time they cycle the truck to dump their recyclables or their trash or whatever. But I had an incident here a couple weeks ago. Guy had a trash can, he had a trash bag, he had his recyclables out there. Well, they dumped everything, but they poked a hole in his damn trash bag and took a look inside of it and says, well, that might be construction debris, we didn't pick it up. And the guy come to me and asked me, why wouldn't they pick this up? And I said, I don't know, it's a black trash bag. Let me look at it. He looked at it, and I could see where somebody tore the damn thing open and said, well, no, we can't take this. Now, come on, now you're gonna, go through the trash so that you don't have to put it on the truck? I mean, it ain't like he had 2x4s hanging out of it. It was a small trash bag. It did not weigh over 50 pounds. It's like, if these guys worked just a little bit harder, we'd have a whole lot less problems. And we get the phone calls. I mean, I don't want to sound like Mark here, but god dang, I'm getting tired of it.
I understand. The Solid Waste Committee is looking at putting that bid out for your next years of service. I will tell you, since you asked, I'll give you a kind of a preview of what's to come.
Yep.
Charles has talked with a couple of other waste haulers, well, our existing waste hauler and another one that really wants to go ahead, I think, and get the city's waste hauling contract. You are going to be looking at rates that are probably going to be, if people thought the sewer rates went up, the trash rates are going, basically you pay don't hold me to this, $15.50, I think, per residence. And you got the possibility that it's probably going to be $23.
I just want them to do their.
And I understand it. But my point is, you've got till we get to the contract. That contract's up in May of 2025. And if you would want to discontinue their service, I don't know what we would do at that point. I'd limp it along, and hopefully if they improve their game, because I would like them to also bid on our future, because otherwise you're only going to have one bidder on this, and that's not going to do you any good as far as rates go. So I understand the frustrations. That's why we're asking them to come here, so that you can talk with them direct and just give them, examples of what you're hearing, and I get it, because we hear it too.
I know.
We are.
I just do your job.
Yeah.
That's all.
So that's to come, and I will also tell you that we will probably never see another, at least from what I've talked with, Charles has talked with them more than I have, but as far as a 5-year contract again, you'll never see that again.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
You'll see maybe a 3-year contract, and if you do see a 3-year, they're going to have built-in, escalators year to year. But I will tell you that those are the rates, and we talked about that at the Solid Waste Committee a little bit, about those numbers. You're going to be looking at somewhere probably in the mid-20s for each resident to go ahead and be picked up. And you are currently subsidizing it, but you're only subsidizing it by a little over $1. So you're charging you're charging the residents $14.15 on a regular pickup. What is it, $9 something if you're senior? I'm not at that age yet, so I have no idea.
Close.
You either. Okay, gotcha.
Any other comments, guys? Okay.
I know she's going to hate me for this, but I like to recognize Marlon.
Let's recognize Marlon. This is her last council meeting.
Get her in here.
And so I would like to say thank you for all of her help during the council meetings and for all of her support.
There she comes, walking out there.
Send money.
Good job.
She's been my go-to girl. So, gonna miss her.
We all will.
Okay.
As I said, we have several things to discuss in executive session.
City Attorney's report. Public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters pursuant to Section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Briggs.
Aye.
Wessels.
Aye.
Bear.
Yes.
Reed.
Yeah.
Coulter.
Yes.
Petke.